Hello everyone, and welcome to something a little bit different tonight. Where tonight we're actually going to be streaming an indie game called Shrine's Legacy. So a little bit of a backstory about this game. I have actually played this indie game demo before. I found out about this by doing some research on Twitter and actually chatting with the devs on Twitter. And I enjoyed the indie game a lot, and the devs reached out to me and asked me if I'd be interested in perhaps streaming a playthrough of the demo, and I said, of course. So, that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to be streaming the demo of Shrine's Legacy tonight to support some small indie game developers, as well as to bring more attention to this really cool demo. And of course, if content like this interests you guys, or you just want to keep up to date with the streams that I'm doing, you can always feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. Yep. So this is... Hi, Copper Nicholson. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So as I was just saying, tonight we're doing something a little bit different, and something a bit special, because I'm not just streaming this indie game demo alone. Oh no. The devs for Shrine's Legacy are actually going to be joining the stream at some point tonight. They'll be in the stream chat to chat with you guys, or as well as answer some questions, and also just be around the chat. Should be a lot of fun. So, the reason it's a loop-in is because there is actually an intro cutscene, which explains a little bit of the backstory. So, if you don't mind me, I'll just wait about a minute or two to let people kind of arrive. Should be a really fun stream, though. I believe the devs will be using a Twitter account called Excalibur2 or something like that. There is actually an explanation to the backstory here, so you know what? I think I'll just let the intro play and read it out to you guys, so you can kind of get a feel for the backstory of this game a little bit. It's... Hey, Seven Slice, thank you so much for joining. Welcome. And right now we're beginning the stream a little bit. Hundreds of years ago, an otherworldly being invaded Ardemia. The people of Ardemia named this malevolent being Aklor. Aklor was unstoppable. No magic or weapon could impede his conquest. On the verge of his ascent as Overlord, a heroine named Kylie Shrine arose. She challenged the monstrosity while wielding a mysterious weapon, the Sword of Shrine. With the sword, powered by 8 elemental gemstones, Kylie brought about Aklor's demise. And so, peace has reigned in the land for centuries. But there are whispers of the ancient evil's imminent return. Ah, and there are the devs. Welcome, welcome devs, or Excalibur2, as it says. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. So, tonight, of course, we're playing your demo. I'm really excited for this, not just to play the demo again, because I have played it once before, but also to get to chat with you guys about your game, maybe give some feedback, ask some questions, and same goes with you, chat. If you have any questions for the devs, feel free to ask. They're really nice people, and they're extremely responsive, just trying to improve their game and make it the best it can be. So without further ado, let's start a new game. Awesome. Glad to hear you guys are excited too. We've lost everything we fought for. Even you are gone, Mother. How long can we go on pretending there is hope? How many apologies can I make to those who have fallen? And who was I trying to be? I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. So we held strong even in the gravest of moments, and we found hope where there could be none. So I want you to do the same. Don't give up, especially on who you are. So in terms of what kind of game this is, I would say it's most similar to... What's the name of that game? Secrets of Mana, or perhaps some of the older Zelda games. That's what I kind of have thought about it when I first played through it. And the devs are saying it's inspired by Super Nintendo games like Illusion of Gaia, which is not a game I've played, but I'm sure it was really well designed. They're off my trail, but I do not know for how long. Yeah, that's why I'm saying Seven Size. Definitely some major Zelda vibes here, which is a good thing. I need to hurry. Like a combo of Final Fantasy and Zelda. I think that definitely helps. Thanks, guys. Oh shoot. I'm supposed to be meeting Mala at her house right now. I'll leave the Sword Shrine here for safekeeping. I better mosey, because nothing bad could possibly happen. Right? So, this is... Like I said, the reason I said it kind of reminds me of Secrets of Mana is Secrets of Mana has a somewhat similar aesthetic, at least the older ones, in terms of walking around and bashing things like this. But yeah, you can definitely see the analogs to Zelda-style RPGs. That's video which, one thing I do really like, I think that's your game design here, and the devs have pointed this out. Notice how there's shadows when you go behind an object or other thing that you wouldn't otherwise be able to see behind. I think that's really good game design because, let's face it, in games that look like this, how often do you end up behind something like this and gets confused as to where the heck you are, right? It happens all the time. But here, that you don't have to worry about that. It makes it very clear. So I think that's really good on the devs' part. I'm guessing that's the reason you guys implemented that, right? Just to make sure that people didn't get lost. Exactly, Seven Slice, I know what you mean. Getting lost in trees is no fun. You should go back home, little goat. The goat returned to its pen. And there are some side quests in this starting village, as well as, you know, the classic, they aren't rupees, but I forget what the currency is called in this game, but it's a similar idea. You break the grass, just like in Zelda, and of course you get your runes. You should go back home, little goat. Yep. I think the fact that the enemies have silhouettes behind the trees too also helps a lot. Now, if this was a Souls-like game, like where the difficulty really mattered, you actually wouldn't want silhouettes like this because that would make the game easier and also make it harder for enemies to sneak up on you. Oh, the goats are your voice. Cool, Alan. I know there isn't really voice acting in this game, but there is for sure sound effects, so that's fun. Oh, they're called Zool. Okay. But yeah, you know, you see all the stuff you'd expect from that, and this, of course, would be the side quest to find all the goats. Mr. Rio, the goats ran away. Don't worry, buddy. I'll find them for you. And of course, you guys pointed out, here's the kitties. We're doing some renovations with the post office. Please come back later. Meow. Yes, we do like apple pie. So right now I'm just going to walk around the village just a little bit to give you guys a lay of the land. Celia's wrong. Okay, I didn't actually see this the first time I played through this. But the post cat is the best character so far. But there's some fun characters later on that I think you guys will really appreciate. Stealing is wrong. Okay, that's good dialogue. I have not seen this part before. You decide to let the apple live its life in peace. That's fantastic. Park is out playing by the spring entrance. It's nice to have some quiet time. Maybe I'll read a book from the bookshelf once I've relaxed a bit. Ah, there's the goat. So in terms of this starting town, devs, how long did it take you to like make this starting area with the side quests and all that? Also, Jinsoku, welcome! Thank you so much for dropping by. Let's go back home and look up. As I have to imagine, it must have taken you guys at least a couple weeks to lay everything out and implement all the side quests and the cutscenes and such. Oh, Rio, how are you? I'm good, Sarah. Is Mallow around? I'm not sure. Why don't you go ask Daniel? He's inside. I will do that, but first, I want to see if I can't find the other goats, because that's a side quest I did not quite finish on my first time playing this game. They around here? Nope. Ah, good question, Copper Nicholson. The answer is nothing. At the moment, nothing happens. Ah, fair enough, devs. So yeah, I could definitely see how it would take a few weeks to lay this out, but of course there would be plenty of tweets, and I imagine even when you guys are continuing to work on the game, you might make even more tweets as you go. But that's normal. Also, might as well show you guys this. So this is a major mechanic in this game. Basically, throughout the game, you have the opportunity to collect these jewels, which is one of the core mechanics of this game. And basically, you have a certain amount of points you can spend on jewels, and that's kind of the sort of RPG-like system you have here. Now, there aren't too many jewels in the demo. However, if you do, I'm sure in the full game, there will be lots of jewels, and it'll be interesting to see to mix and match them depending on what you want. Also, Frado Prince, welcome! Thank you so much for dropping by. Welcome to the game dev stream, or I should say, welcome to the game demo stream, and feel free to say hi to the devs. They're Excalibur P2 in the chat. But right now, we're just wandering around the starting village to get a lay of the land, so to speak. Alright, now the real question is, do you guys want me to do a little mini-game that my data set speed? Because the last time I did this, I did the mini-game a bit too many times, and I think I might have over-leveled myself just a little bit. Okay, you guys want me to do it? Alright. Well, Rio, I was chopping wood for Boss Randall, and some weird old lady, he leapt out and he handed me this juice. And I have a feeling I know who that is, but we'll leave that for later. She called it dummy juice. I thought about trying it, but I'm getting cold feet. Maybe you could taste it for me? Ah, what controller am I using? No controller at all. I'm actually using the mouse and keyboard, or I should just say the keyboard, because there's no mouse controls in this game. I'll try anything once. You quickly down the juice. Earned power, dummy attunement. This feels like a mistake. Well, how do you feel? I feel a mysterious pull to the dummy beyond that fence. Oh, okay. Well, you should always follow your intuitions. So, you're probably asking yourself... Ah, fair point. I didn't know that, Excalibur. Thanks for pointing that out, devs. So you're probably wondering, what the heck did that just do? Well, before that, you just go up to this dummy and it's a dummy. But now we're actually going to talk to the dummy. You feel an urge to talk to the dummy. Do it. As you speak, you begin to feel your mind turn into straw. And so begins the dummy minigame. That's a good question, Copper Nicholson. Devs, is this a Undertale reference? Because I know the dummy is like a major boss in Undertale, which I thought was a really nice surprise. So the premise here is if the dummies touch you even once, it ends the minigame. But if you complete the minigame, you get some experience points for it. So the first time you do it, you get 50 XP, and I think every time afterwards you get about 10 XP. It's actually a great way to grind up in the starting village, because there's no really other enemies to grind before the story continues. So if you really want to over-level yourself, this is the spot to do it. Also, I will mention this demo is completely free, and the devs are always looking for new feedback. So if anyone watching the stream or wants to try it out, I'm sure the devs will post a link to it at some point in the chat. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, I will be putting a link to the demo in the description. So you feel free to play it for yourself if this interests you. Mr. Rio! Mr. Rio! Gem, the jewel man hid a jewel and told us we could have it if we found it. Yeah, and we found it, but it's behind those bats and a big box is in the way. Don't worry, I'll get it for you. So, one thing I liked about this is basically the tutorial for pushing boxes, which is a mechanic that's used a bit later in the game. But, more importantly, this sign right here tells a very important thing, and that's that when you hit a box, it will be pushed in the direction you're looking toward, not necessarily the side you hit it from, which took me by surprise at first. But, as it's saying right here, what this allows you to do is something you actually can't do in a game like Crosscode, and that's, even though I'm staying to the right of this thing, because I'm facing upward, I can actually hit this box upward, and that, of course, is a pretty interesting take on the mechanics, but it also lets you do more fun stuff with puzzles. There we go. We now have ourselves a jewel with chocolate stains on it. No, I think there's other named people in town. I got the jewel. Whoa, thanks, Mr. Rio. You're so cool. But you were the one who got it, so you should keep it. Besides, it's got something brown on it. What? No fair. We saw it first. Gem said whoever grabs it gets it, and Mr. Rio grabbed it. Oh, yeah. I guess you can have it. You better use it all the time, though. Now we have our first jewel. Dummy juice tastes like straw. I wouldn't be surprised. So, as we can see, we now have our first jewel, and this is actually a really good one. It actually gives us a map. So, yes, you don't actually get a mini-map by default. You have to choose to have it. And it's only for dungeons. So, we are not currently in a dungeon. We're just in the starting town. But that's there available. And might as well show this other thing. The game does have, of course, some... You should go home a little bit. The game does have a... obviously, like a merchant sort of system, so you can buy different jewels or other upgrades from various shops. Unfortunately, we do not have anywhere near enough Zool for this. But that's it. Why did the goat go inside? That's a good question. Maybe it wanted those jewels for some reason. Speaking of which, I think we found... Is that all the goats, or is there one more? Yeah, you're the best, Mr. Rio. All goats are home. I want you to have this. I think you deserve it for finding my friends. Oh, awesome. We got 25 Zool. Nice. That's a good question. Do goats eat jewels? So I think where we're supposed to go is actually up this way. Oh, no, I need to go to Sweet Tamala. Okay. So we're just going to go do that real quick. Let's see here. Hi, Rio. Are you looking for Mala? Yeah, I was supposed to meet her here. Well, you were run behind, so she went off to the spring. Oh, the spring? Thanks, Daniel. No problem. Y'all have fun. So let's continue on the story. Oh, and since I didn't get to ask it during the opening cutscene, I am curious, devs. The name Aklor, is that like a play on words or some kind of wordplay or in reference to any particular mythological creature? Yes, it does seem like a pretty unique name. This is the way to the spring. Mal should be here. Oh, also, just thought I should show you guys this. So this game while there isn't necessarily jumping, there are some other mechanics. So, for example, we can swim. See? I feel like swimming's fun because it definitely opens up some possibilities for exploration. Okay, so currently Acklor is just the name that was made up. Okay, fair enough. In that case, how about the design for Acklor? I am curious if there was kind of any inspiration behind that. Hopper Nicholson said it kind of looks like Darth Vader. To me, it kind of looks like a cross between like some Doulahan armor and a cyborg. Those are the two things that come to my mind, at least. Finally showed up, did you? Ah, hey Darius, welcome. So this is a demo for an indie game called Shrine's Legacy, and the devs for the indie game are actually in the Twitch chat right now. They're at Scala Repeat 2, so feel free to ask questions or chat. And again, thank you so much for dropping by. Well, you know, always impress a lady by never being on time. Uh-huh. Come here, you dork. Oh, Acklor is partly inspired by the designs of old-school Final Fantasy villains. Interesting. Any in particular? Because I know there's been a lot of Final Fantasy games, and I don't know most of them. And yeah, also, the graphics, pixel art is really good in this game as well. I love the character portraits, as well as just the general pixel art. I think the water looks gorgeous, for example, as well as the waterfall. Those leaves are pretty good, too. It's been a while since we've been here. Yeah, I know. Can't even recall the last time we stopped by the spring. Can you? No. I've forgotten how soothing this place is. It's so peaceful. Remember how much we played here as kids? It's funny, thinking about how you always wanted to pretend we were using swords and rescuing damsels. I will say, I love that you guys use like a different color filter or something to make it seem like it's in the past. I think that's really cool. And you just transition to it. Come on! Let's play Save the Princess! Again! That's what you always want to play. Hey, I've got a train in case the evil Acklor returns. Acklor? Your dad's stories about him are scary. That's right. Besides, don't you know how manly it is to rescue a princess? Well, it is fun when you're the princess. You're always such a pretty princess, Rio. You're such a turd. Come on, let's go play. Shipping question mark? Good question, Copper Nicholson. I wouldn't be surprised. It's clear that these two were probably best friends since childhood. Oh no, 7 size. Alright, that's your plot prediction, fair enough. I mean, to be fair, there is a fair bit of foreshadowing in this game, so definitely keep your eye out for those things. Those were good times. They really were. There's something I want to show you. I made this. What do you think? Oh, a charm. Alright, chat, we do have a choice here. The question is, stones are beautiful or too gorgeous, I'm unworthy. Let's go with the funny one. Too gorgeous! I'm unworthy! Oh, please, don't be a flatterbatter. It's made of lightning stones from the Hendren Marshes. Walter gave them to me last time he was home. Wait a second. Alright, devs, is the Hendren Marshes like... the correct option is. Is the Hendren Marshes like the lightning region that we'll eventually go to much later in the game? Because that's not a place I ever went to during the demo. And yes, always go with the fun option, exactly. The stones are supposed to signify valor and ensure victory in all perils. Only the bravest get to carry your keepsake, yeah? That's why I want you to have it. Really? Thank you, Mala. I'll keep it close, always. I'm glad. You'll need it when you save your princess. I have a feeling that is foreshadowing as well. Rio? Oh, cool. So that is a location that will be in the full version of the game. Glad it's brought up early, then. What is it? Thank you for coming. It made me very happy we reminisced. Charm of Identity Power +3. Yes, Shinsoku, yes. And I see you're still predicting. It's good to guess 7. Me too, Mala. Me too. Wanna go back now? Let's stay a while longer. There's no mistaking it. This is the legendary Sword of Shrine. The ice gem must fit into the slot. There. They surely have found my trail again by now. I need to leave immediately. Rio? Who's? Hey! What the hell are you doing in my house? My sword! She ran that way. Be careful. Yep. She stole stuff. We have to stop her. Yep. Copper Nicholson thinks the town's going to explode. 7 thinks there's going to be an attack. Interesting guesses, interesting guesses. Exit stage left. No, why won't the gem respond? I can't cast magic through the sword. Hey, thief! What? The ice gem. It's reacted. Hurry and finish off the monster while it's frozen. Now, I do want to point out one thing about this. So, I think freeze is only supposed to last a limited amount of time, but here that monster is just frozen indefinitely. I literally walked around here for like 2 minutes just for funsies to see if anything would happen, and nothing happens. And of course, if you talk to her, she's like, "What are you waiting for?" But there's no like optional dialogue or special thing happen. It's just a tutorial in terms of learning to hit the frozen enemy. So, not sure if you're listening, devs. Not sure if you wanna. Yep, I agree. It's good game design, of course, to make sure people learn the ice breaking spell. I'm just highlighting that I think it'd be funny if it like unfroze itself and attacked you, but I understand why it's done in this case. It's to obviously teach the player, and that, of course, it's a normal enemy, you know. And there we go. Thanks. Shut it. Who are you? Why did you break into my home and take my sword? There's no time to explain. I need your help and... Help? After what you've done? And... Tell me, where you got this gemstone? Did you steal it too? No, that is not important. Please, hear me out. Giving the bud the cold shoulder. That's good, Jinsoku. My name is Rama Nerone. I'm in need of the only weapon capable of felling Aklor. He has returned, and I want revenge on him. Aklor? The demon my ancestor defeated long ago? Yes. This is insane. Aklor can't have returned. Can't. You have to be lying. I saw him with my own eyes and could do nothing. Even the sword is useless in my hands. But you are the shrine lineage. You can wield the sword of shrine to destroy Aklor. It is your family's sworn duty. Yeah, I don't think so. You imbecile! Do you not comprehend what will happen should Aklor return to power? You have no right to insult me. You just stole my sword. What do you expect? I'm going back home. Wait, listen. Aklor and his minions, they're coming. What? Aklor followed me. He knows the sword shrine is here. I tried losing him, but could not. Mala, everyone! Did so too, exactly. Wait, there's no time to explain. Proceeds to explain. Oh no. Yeah, rip the town, unfortunately. Gather the rest. Mom, Dad! Oh, sweetie! There are demons attacking the town. We have to leave. Now! What are you... Now! Is that... Where is the Sword of Shrine? Tell me where the Keeper of the Blade hides, you worthless inferiors. I've heard of you, demon. We won't tell you anything. Put her down! That sword. Mala! You want to protect the girl, run. There's nothing Aklor wants more than the sword. After them. Don't let the sword out of your sight. Toshi Station. I've not heard of that, Excalibur. Yep, interesting guesses all around, though. Now that we've saved, let's continue. So yeah, obviously, the story picks up pretty quickly, as you can see. And then, of course, they introduce the new enemy in a control environment. Use your ice magic. How about no? Or, I guess I have to. Or we could just have a nice staring contest with this demon. Hey. Are you going to move? Oh, no. It's a nice day out. You see the clouds. Oh, by the way, nice attention to detail of the clouds. They're kind of going off down to the bottom right side. So we're just going to enjoy this nice afternoon. No need to rush. I'm just kidding. Let's move on. And I do like that it's very clear as to what this does. So, attacking enemies restores the MP. You can, of course, gain XP and such. So, I like that here Italian tells you all those things in one fell swoop. Although, because that moment is there, it kind of makes me wonder why the enemy, why the blood enemy stays frozen so long to begin with, and that whole sequence can teach you kind of the same thing. Proxdillas, thank you so much for dropping by. Welcome to the Dembo stream. And also, the devs are in chat. Feel free to say hi to Excalibur Feet too. This way. I know somewhere they won't follow us. There we go. Yep, glad to have you here, Proxdillas. Thanks so much for dropping by. So, with regards to the music, which one of you devs were composing it, or was that done by someone else out of curiosity? Over here! We can climb down and lose them. hurry before they catch up. Oh, cool. Yeah, music's pretty good so far. Just wanted to give a compliment about that. Head back. They must have gone towards the forest. Heir to the shrine legacy, your mortal body will be shattered before this is over. But I will say, my favorite track in the game is coming up, and I'll let you guys know when it comes up. Or my favorite tracks so far, I should say. Also, I find it cool that right here we're introduced to the fact that this is actually a game where you're going to control 2 characters. Listen, Akko will not stop hunting you until the sword is destroyed. You should... I need to get back to Ural and check on Mala. Have you been paying attention? If you stay at the village, you will hurt more people. I have to know she's safe. Listen to me. If you go back now, you will be putting her in danger. You could lose her forever. Is that what you want? No. You'll see in a little bit, Seven. What do we do now? My mother, she lives alone on the outskirts. Aklo was heading that way. Wait. You can make sure your mother is safe, but it is dangerous to stay for long. I will accompany you, Shrine. You can call me Rio. I don't think this game has a branching story, though you can correct me if I'm wrong about that, devs. But so far what I've seen of the demo, the story is pretty linear. But as you can see right here, you can now play as both Rio and Reima, which is already cool. However, what I think is really cool is that you can actually play this 2-player, and my understanding is you can play this 2-player in, I think, local co-op. So, which is really nice because, little backstory, guys, one of my favorite games when I was really young, just as a little aside, was Lego Star Wars. And the reason being was because we did not have any gaming console besides a computer, so Lego Star Wars was one of the very few games that myself and my brother could actually play at the same time, using just a single keyboard, and that's why we enjoyed it so much. So, the way it works is you can just hit shift to switch which character you're playing, and each of the characters have different stats. So, my understanding is that Rio, of course, because he has the special sword, does more melee damage, but Reima, I think, has stronger magic attacks, so she's actually a mage. Yeah, so from what I'm understanding, devs, is after the demo, I guess your plan is that you would basically have, I'm assuming, free reign to go after most of the gems in any particular order you want. And then I'm guessing it all coalesces to some kind of finale. But yeah, so we can actually play as Reima, or Rio. And you'll notice the discrepancy here. So Reima is only doing 2 damage, whereas Rio's doing 3 damage. However, let's see if there's a difference in magic here. Oh no, I agree 7 sides for sure. I love it when we have actual female protagonists because I really do feel like games have been oversaturated with male protagonists. So it is a bit... So it's always refreshing to play female protagonists when available. Oh, might as well mention this. One criticism I did give to the devs earlier is there was not any tutorial section to tell you how to pause your game or go to the menu. I thought it was escape, but it's not. It's actually enter on PC. So I think just having a little tutorial for that would be very helpful, especially since you can do things here like switch weapons and stuff. So I do think it's really important that that gets explained very clearly. But of course, because this is a Zelda-like game, you want to always attack the grass. Ow. I'm trying to see something though. So that was okay. Whereas if I'm Rayma, yeah, I think that did more damage. And yes, of course, and the pots, because it's not Zelda unless you get to smash a bunch of pots, right? Very true. Glad to hear it, devs. Yeah, because definitely I want to, I obviously want to know that this menu exists, as well as how to click it without having to mess around with the keyboard. That's kind of important. Oh, that good point, Shinsarju. Will there be evil chickens in this game? Because that's also a staple of the Zelda games. Now, I could defeat all these enemies, but I think I'll just run through to keep the story progressing a bit. This is the place. Chickens, the most dangerous enemy I've ever created. The real final boss is the chickens. Mom! Mom, where are you? Rio? Oh, Rio, thank heavens! Get down here, quickly! Alright. Good night, Seven Size. Thank you so much for dropping by. Mom, are you okay? A group of monsters passed through not moments before, and I hid down here. It sounded like they were searching for something. I've been so terrified. Rio, who is this? This is Rayma Nerone. We met just before the monsters attacked. I see. Can you tell me what's happening out there? There was an attack on your old village. Those monsters you saw were responsible. And they were seeking to destroy the Sword of Shrine. Oh no, you can't mean... Yeah, Aklor. Was anyone hurt? I mean, it was my job to prevent Aklor from doing this, but you know, might as well, I'll put that off to the next generation, am I right? Huh? Mom? What? Nothing. No. Is she really? I think Battle's okay, but Aklor must pay. Mom, I came to tell you that we're going to stop him. I've made up my mind. Would you check on Mala for me when it's safe? Tell her what I'm doing? Not sure if you two are good for each other, but alright, I'll do it. Of course. But without the gemstones, how could you possibly stand against the demon? I mean, really, you're just a young man. We have a gemstone. The Sword of Shrine was crafted to be infused with 8 elemental gems, which were scattered about by Aklor long ago. Reuniting all 8 gemstones would yield power to end the demon. And yeah, they do kind of look like Chaos Emeralds, or at least what the Chaos Emeralds used to look like in the older Sonic games. That's how we're going to do it then. We'll find the rest of the gems and take down that monster. Oh, you guys like the Victorian era mother voice? Thank you, I try. Mom, did Dad ever say anything about the location of these gems? Your father never mentioned anything of their whereabouts. In fact, your father was hardly ever around. I mean, have you seen him this entire playthrough? I certainly haven't. I'm sorry. This is something I have to do. Don't worry. I'll come home safe, promise. Then you remember that promise, Rio Shrine. Remember it very well. Because if you come I'm back, and I see even in the slightest boo-boo on your elbow, I swear, I'm going to take that sword and do this entire quest myself. Mom. And you, Reva. I count on you to look after my son, because after all, I'm not going to leave this house. I'll watch his back. She won't need to look after me. I can take care of myself. You do the same for her. Look out for each other, because after all, if one of you goes down, you're not going to get back alive. Way to give me confidence, Mom. I love you, son. Ta-ta! I love you too. Oh, interesting. I had no idea about that, devs. Yeah, I guess it would be difficult because the Chaos Emeralds are such like an iconic looking thing. So making them not look exactly like it while still looking like gemstones, that could be tricky. Yes, right. I will watch his back, proceeds to hide or stay far away, fights and only look at his back. Yes, if that was like a comic, that would be amazing. Right into Collectible Forest. One of the gemstones should be located there. So you arrive with a gemstone and even know where another is, not to mention you know your knowledge about my ancestry. Just who are you? Care to explain how you know about all this and why I should trust you and hope that you aren't some twist villain in for Chapter 7 or Chapter 8? I obtained the information from a source. Aha, that doesn't really give me a whole lot of confidence, Rema. A source? Yes, a reliable one. Now let's stop wasting time and get to Collectible Forest. What if it was Atlor himself? He's like, okay, Rema, you are the demon, you are my secret weapon, you are the spy. Now go get them. On its Atlor. Honestly, that'd be a great twist, but I doubt that's where this is going. Since it seems like Rema's meant to be a pretty major part of the main game mechanics. Fine, let's go. But can you just imagine if Rema works for Atlor? Just how much of a twist that would be. And she did try to steal the sword earlier. Yeah, that's true. Now, to be fair, Rema claims to have been stealing the sword to fight Atlor, and it seems pretty realistic that's what she was doing. But, it's just me thinking a little bit outside the box here. What if? Now, before we move on, I think there's an item we can get over here. So remember this area? I like that's actually somewhere you can swim. Yep, fair enough. I wouldn't want you guys, I wouldn't want you, the devs, to spoil anything. I'm just kind of talking out loud right now. Although, speaking of just thinking out loud, the hooded figure. The hooded figure refers to Shrine as his mother. And the fact that our main character doesn't really see his father in the opening leads me to believe that the hooded figure is probably his father. That's just a guess right now. I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. Gem is most likely in the heart of the forest. We should be wary of monsters along the way. No, Jinsoku, there isn't. What happens when you swim up to waterfalls, you can actually sort of swim up the waterfall, but only like, I'd say a couple of swims before you get kind of slid back down. It's probably nearby. Be cautious. Also, by the way, guys, this right here, the theme of Calico Forest is actually my favorite theme in this entire demo. Just listen to it in the background. I'm not sure what string instrument that is. It's either a guitar or a mandolin or something. But that combined with the flute and I think either a harp or something, it's such a nice combination, really pleasant, but also feels just the right amount of tension for make you feel like you're running from the demon while trying to, of course, make progress to fight the demon. Sulfur Soul, oh no. Alright, and here's an interesting little mechanic they introduce. So there are statues like these that help magic users get through the world. I'm sure the sea dam is something someone will meet eventually, but not in this demo as far as I'm aware. So when you hit these statues, it actually regenerates magic. One potential thing I'd like to suggest, devs, instead of every hit recovering about a third of a bar, I think it might be good to make it recover, I'd say, either completely to full or recover one full bar at a time so that you don't have to hit it as many times. Just because I don't think hitting this 3 times in a row just to get one more magic cast makes a whole lot of sense, since what are the extra hits accomplishing? That's just kind of my thought. So I do like that that's a good way right there to actually introduce you to the mechanic of freezing those slimes to then, of course, allow it to be pushed, like those bots from earlier. What's it cost? Everything. Alright, now we're just gonna make our way through this dungeon. Hit those fire slimes. Awesome, strength up. Great. So, the red stuff is red slime, I think. Okay, that was a surprise. Dabby APF, welcome! Thank you so much for dropping by. So, welcome to the demo stream. This is the demo of Shrine's Legacy, and the devs are actually in the Twitch chat as Excalibur P2. Feel free to say hi, and of course to give feedback or ask questions about the game. So yeah, this is a demo for an indie game, and I believe you can actually play the demo for free right now. So, the goal here, of course, is to press that down with a block. I think we got around here somewhere. It's not there. Oh no, we got over there, I see. Anything over here? Aha. Ooh, mysterious page. Neat. Aha! And now we have the full dungeon map. So as you can see, it is a pretty, pretty straightforward dungeon, but also has some twists and turns. First, I'll continue to make our way over here. Freeze that, get it over. I feel like I'm missing something here. Do you have to defeat these things? Yep, that was it. When in doubt, defeat the enemies. That's true. I do like the sound of the hits connecting though, especially the sound of when those like different thorns get destroyed after defeating a certain number of enemies. Like that's a really satisfying sound. Very classic sounding. I did notice, actually, that you guys have been using the Hero's Journey story arc, as we saw with Rio earlier at the start of the story. Rio, at first, he had his kind of call to action to go fight Athor. Rio's like, nah, which is very much in line with the Hero's Journey story arc, as we even see in Star Wars or epic stories like the Odyssey or the Iliad. And that's that the hero at first is hesitant to go on the epic journey, but then they're kind of forced to, or at least, like, they recognize that the peace they've been in living with is no longer going to be the case, and thus that's when they truly start their journey. There's nothing wrong with it. The hero's journey is an excellent formula for a story, and there's a reason why the epics of pretty much every culture follow it to some extent. So, you're a magic user, huh? I was born a magic user, yes. You seem to be quite gifted. Do you know other spells? I have not learned new magic in years, but someday. Something over there. Oh, it's from Illusion of Gaia. Neat. That sounds like... Quick, hide. Wait, I didn't think this through. Our silhouettes are showing. They'll be able to see us. Darn it! Has this area been searched? Sir, I'm detecting 2 silhouettes behind those trees over there. That's none of our business. They were seen entering the forest from this direction, my lord. We will find them. I'm detecting 2 silhouettes. Hush, number 3. Nobody ever listens to you. Aww. Move with more haste, useless creations. I don't have time. Time to look for these peasants. That's your job. The blade betrays your presence, shrine descendants, but I'm just going to walk in this other direction to give you a false sense of security. It'll make it more satisfying to finally take you down. Ha, ha. Because that aura emitting from the sword is faint yet unmistakable. I mean, Avatar: The Last Airbender is a great, definitely a great show to get inspiration from. It has an awesome long-term story arc. That was too close. Athlor said he could faintly sense the sword. I wonder, will Athlor be able to sense us more easily as we gather gems? Athlor used the Force, so now Athlor is becoming Darth Vader. What do you mean? We should be mindful of Athlor's militia. Come on. Now, this is an extremely minor thing, and I doubt this will be changed, but I would like to point out that we see, I believe either Athlor or the other minions kind of walked this way, and yet if we go down here and really search, we aren't going to run into any minions. So, I'm not sure if it would make a whole lot of sense, but imagine if you could, like, I don't know, fight Athlor early and it'd be like a really hard fight or something if you actually came back to this area or to the start of the dungeon. Or at the very least got to see more minions walking around here. At least that would make more sense. Like in this earlier part. Again, it's a very minor thing. I just think that would be kind of neat to kind of further emphasize just how real and persistent of a threat this is. Is the bud clapping? I don't think it's clapping. I think that's its pincers. And yeah, unfortunately, there's no way to do a level 1 challenge run yet, but the devs did say they're going to add some way to do something like that in the full game, which should be pretty fun. Since this is definitely one of those games where you can actually dodge attacks if you're skilled enough or understand patterns. So it could be a lot of fun to see what it would be like to do it. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the minions later on, which is great, but I'm saying, since they go backwards anyway, why not add minions back there, just to kind of add to the point that, okay, now we're in the forest, now it's going to get more tricky. And if you did add, like, an early Athlor boss fight or something, just for funsies, to get, I don't know, some special jewel or something. Like, I doubt you guys would do that, just that would probably require making a new run. But it would be a nice little Easter egg, or just kind of like, you really shouldn't, but if you can, you can. Yep. Let's hit that chest. So we just have to defeat all these things. So these are fire slimes, from what I understand. Yeah, adding the demons in the early in the forest, I do agree. I think that's a good idea. Okay, interesting, Caliper. So, Dev, so basically you're saying you guys were thinking about that, but decided not to for a couple of reasons. Are there any, like, non-spoiler reasons that you could elaborate on that? Because I would be curious to understand your thought process there. The reason I asked is I have actually seen some RPGs recently that have actually let you fight some, usually late game bosses pretty early on just for fun. And the way they balance it is so that you can't, like, break the story by just defeating, like, a major boss super early in the game. What they do is, when the boss gets to a certain amount of health, they escape or something, and then you're left with, like, a big reward that you normally wouldn't get. So, I'm just curious about what your thought process was behind that. I do agree, Jinsoku. I like it when we see it. I like it when we're able to be shown that we're not ready for something by actually failing ourselves. Partly due to time reasons programmed, partly because it could break the flow of exploring the forest if you want to get back and get to treasure or something. Okay. I guess I understand that. Because the flow of the forest is kind of upward if we're looking at the map here. Though, I would say there isn't really much shame in having to go back to get some treasure, because that is kind of part of the fun of RPGs like that, is exploring every little nook and cranny of the map. Yeah. I can understand if you didn't want to put it in the demo because of time or because of time and such. But if, in terms of for a full game, I think it would add more than it would distract from. And you'd still know that your way forward is obviously upward. But it is really, I think Jinsoku is playing it well. Some players love hidden stuff like that. I'm one of those players. I actually really do love hidden stuff like that. And coming up, there is actually a hidden room somewhere where you can get like an extra item or something, which I thought was pretty cool. And those were like hidden throughout or just were more common. That's just, you know, nice as well. Oh yeah, that red fluid I think is red slime. And over the blade and accept your deaths, mortals, because it is I, lead minion. Ackler didn't feel it necessary to give me a name because I'm just that awesome. What? No negotiations like, we'll spare you if you give up the sword? Fool. I'm lead minion, and I don't need negotiations. Because I have minion number 1 and number 2. Nah. It would be much simpler if you just die. I do think it's fascinating that the lead minion actually kind of runs away to try and let his main minions do his bidding. Oh dear. Well, that escalated quickly. Okay, okay. Fair enough, devs. I know you call it lead minion, but that's just... you won't deny that is a fairly generic name. It's like saying this is the lead droid. Okay, it's the lead droid. That's fine. I'm not... Not everything has to have like a really cool name or something. But just as someone who really loves like super deep lore and RPGs and stuff, if the lead minion had a name or some meaning behind it, that would be cool. But I understand there's not. Especially since this is like the first mid-dungeon boss. Oh my god, that is a great... Is that the name his parents gave him? Or something? Oh, also, I do like that on repeat boss fights, they actually skip through the cutscene, so that's good game design. For sure. Because... Because it means less time going through content you already have, and then to actually do more stuff. Now, I'm not sure how much health the lead minion has. I think it's a fair amount. Okay, there we go. Lead minion's down. If you do decide to do this game, I would recommend defeating the lead minion first, because if the other minions get defeated first, then the lead minion actually gets more aggressive. That's a fair point, Des. Actlord does not seem like the type to just give names to his creation. That's a completely fair point. Pushovers. Is this the best Actlord has? Fool. I'm still here. You didn't destroy my heart. I will stop you, even if I have to bleed on you. What is this, a Monty Python reference? What's a Monty Python? Very unlikely. The heart of the woods is probably not much further. Keep your guard up. Oh, was that a joke at me? Ha ha, very funny. I'll do fine without your advice, thanks. Wait, what are you doing? No, don't you dare. Ah! Oh, that's amazing. Actlord, this is Steve, my greatest creation. Tremble in fear for us. Honestly, if it was named Steve, that would be hilarious. I am lead minion Steve. Just the most generic name possible, just to kind of point out just how unimposing it is. If, oh no, not Steve. Or Officer Steve, make sure to even just saying it, I can't take it seriously. That's what's amazing. Okay, now I think we defeat these things. There we go. Got the G. Alright, there's a safe state to the right. Oh, there is actually a Decepticon named Steve? I did not know that happened, actually. Actlord and his army of Steves will take over the galaxy, yes. I feel like I should be able to get over there. Maybe it's... No, it's gotta be from somewhere else, isn't it? Okay. Yeah, it's from a different part of the spot. Okay. Oh, here we go. That. Rayma, get out of the way. Rayma! I honestly didn't know that was possible. Rayma can actually stop the block. There we go. Anything over here? Nope. Okay. Oh, wait, no, Steve Galaxy. Alright. And now something I did bring up to the devs, but I think I should show it. So the point of this area with this little slime is that you're supposed to push it down this way over here past these areas and then use it to hit that enemy over there, since you can't actually approach it normally. However, I found this, which kind of defeats the whole point of the puzzle. And just wanted to kind of point that out. Now, just a bit of a minor thing, but I'll just about bring that up again. Yep, exactly. And if that's just left in for speedrun strats, I completely get it. Giving alternative ways to do things if you sort of understand the mechanics a bit more. Oh, also, very well hidden path there. Here's a little secret area that's not on the regular map. As you see, that only just appeared now. If we do that, we get some cyan jelly. But yeah, hidden areas like that are fun. Or like extra little puzzle rooms and stuff, but those are the best. Secret bosses are probably my favorite, but we'll see. Can we go this way? Oh yeah, we can. So many slimes. Now, I did not figure out what this tree is for. My guess is you actually use fire on this when we get the ability to do that. And I'm guessing that will probably open up like a secret path. But for now, we can simply... I think it's just defeating these enemies here that gives us the key. It's a secret to everybody. Oh my. There we go. It's secretly secret. Oh, also, I do like that you, Devs, that you put these here to kind of warn that this is a major boss coming up. I mean, just by the level design, it's kind of obvious, but this definitely helps clarify that. Without further ado. But why is there so much slime in here? There have been a lot of gels in the forest. Is that normal? No, not that I... Fools. Who dares to sleep? Mess with my slumber! This might be the source of the gels. Why are you stepping in my property? Get out! Oh man, we gotta fight this thing? No. Get out of my forest. Or not. I'll deal with you myself. I do not believe it's giving us much choice. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that there originally wasn't a retry option on bosses. So yeah, it's just the save spot's right near there then, so there's less backtracking. So interesting thing about this boss, we can't damage it directly, however, it does make use of the puzzle mechanics we learned in this area, and then of course we can actually do things. So I think that's good game design right there, because it's actually basically the boss is kind of like a mastery of the mechanics we learned in this dungeon, so that's good. And in terms of overall design, this is my favorite boss in the demo, just because it mixes the mechanics of the dungeon where you were just in so well, while also making it so it's not just a straightforward, oh, we just bash it a bunch of times and we win. No, you actually have to think a little bit. Howdy, there we go. Got it. Come on. Just bash it. And now it's going Super Saiyan. Oh, that's a good idea, Jintoku. Des, did you read that? It's giving, like, instead of just the word boss, like the name of the boss itself. I think that'd be pretty cool. Especially if it was some kind of imposing name, a unique name, like... Maybe call this, like, the Demon of Fire or something like that, or like the Blade... Or like the Blaze Orb or something like that. Like something that sounds demonic and basically emblematic of what it is. The Magma Orb, that would be pretty nice. Or like the Magma Slime, or like the Magma Overlord or something. Like, you could go crazy with this, but the point is, something like that would definitely make it feel more intimidating. Well, that wasn't bad. Gemstone Reel. Actually, Dad, Chad, if you guys want to come up with potential names for that boss, by all means. I think that'd be fun. That could be fun. Amazing. This is what gives the sword its power, huh? There seems to be the fire gem. Atlo must be using great beasts to protect them. Fire. These indentations on the blade's hilt match the gem's shape. It's a perfect fit. You should be able to use fire magic now. Give me a try. Excellent. Let me see the fire gem, please. What? So is that how you learn the ice magic too? Correct. Now we had best leave. Atlor may sense that his guardian has been defeated. There should be a way out of the woods further onward. Let's go. And now we can actually toggle between fire and ice. I'm assuming the other elements later. So, now that we can do this, I am curious, because I don't think I've tried this before. Let's see if this will work on the tree. And if this doesn't work, I'm not sure what to do, but we'll find out. Alright, tree. You're asleep. I cast fire. And I don't think that worked. Alright. Not really sure what to do there. Let's move on. Actually, I'm amazed that the forest stood up for this long with all those fire slimes. Name one thing that can't be solved with fire: writing. Does he kind of need, you know, the paper or the computer to write with? But now that we have fire, we can do this. Burn. Well, that went there went that part of the force. Draw a fire view with helicopter. Well put, devs. Well put. The forest guardian has gone to oblivion. How unfortunate. And it seems my lead minion Steve wasn't able to stop them either. Not that I had much high expectations for them, but I need to do a better job with this. So 2 gemstones are now in their possession. Oh, just a suggestion, devs. That cutscene right there, I think that would have been a perfect spot for maybe just make the cutscene a little longer and add the demon Aklor basically conjuring that a future boss that is to come to give it more context, since I think that might be a good spot to do that. Just a suggestion. And you guys will see what I mean later when I bring it up, because this was a point of, like I said, there could be some improvement with some things. She's resting now. May I see her? I need to have a word with her. Of course, ma'am. Just don't... No. I'm going to see her. Hey, sweetheart. I heard you were very brave earlier. You ran right up to that demon that could have killed you. Oh, such a hero you were. You had me worried sick. Carolyn, where's Rio? You weren't the only one trying to be brave today. He's gone off on some adventure, thinking he can somehow stop Aklor. I mean, he still has so much to learn about the world. Hmm? He's left, hasn't he? I'm afraid so. He and that young woman, Rema, are searching for the lost gemstones. Rema? Who's that? A woman with violet eyes. She appeared to be a magic user. I think that's going to play into something, those violet eyes. Just not sure what. Do you know her? Only met her briefly. What are you doing with that thief, Rio? Good point, Jinsoku. When you're the parent of an RPG protagonist, those are two pretty common things. I'm not sure if it's like Ruby, but... Grass? No. Now we're just going to continue on our merry way. Oh, a question for the devs. Is there going to be any place where we can listen to the soundtrack of this game, just in general? Oh, interesting. That's an interesting point. I had no idea that Rio was living alone. But it doesn't make sense. He was the only guy in that house. Raymond's about to die, and Raymond's dead. Well, this isn't good. Okay, there we go. We could go that way, but I think there's... Is there an object up there? Nothing over here. Okay. On our merry way. I do need to take a little break, guys. I'll be right back. But in the meantime, I'm going to run an ad while I take a break, so don't go anywhere, guys. I'll be right back to continue the demo. I think everyone should be back by now, so welcome back, everybody. Glad to see you guys are asking some good questions to the devs. I think the way I'm supposed to go is up there, but that does look like a ladder, or like a stairwell. Oh, right, no, this is the main way. You there. We are demons number 3 and number 4. We will avenge Leader Steve. Or not. We're following too close. We need to lose him. Maybe we can... Oh! Oh, really, Gabby APF? I didn't know your cousin was on that ad. Interesting. What ad was it, out of curiosity? You are in danger, ma'am. Get out of here quickly. Yes, I see. Ah, excellent, most excellent. Married couples always make the finest customers. You newlyweds will be my finest work regulars yet. Ridiculous, old woman. We have no time for... Time? Why are you so worried about time? You think you're clots or something? That does not... I identify as a grandmother clock myself, thank you very much. Listen, lady, we're being pursued by Ackthorn and his demon henchmen. Do that now? It's dangerous here. You know, lady never did suit me. Delane, my name, by the way, rolls off the tongue letter. And if we're talking demons in a hellish pursuit, I've got just the panacea. Come hither. Witness my amazing concoction of demons be gone. Wait a second. That looks just like the serum I drank earlier. Are you going to make them? Are you going to give them the ability to go after the dummies? What? No. Come see. This'll blow the entire area to smithereens. 100% guaranteed, or your money back. Kaboosh! That isn't quite what I thought would happen. But it worked. Maybe? Okay, it worked. See? 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Uh-huh. I'm brilliant. You said you were going to blow everything up. Ah, but I did blow your minds. Too bad for my vines. They'll be gone in a couple of days, though. Oh well, no waste. I'll make a vine sauce out of them later. Ahem. That was a mere exhibit of my work. Indulge me for a moment. Blue potion or red potion? Ah, red. I feel the heat and passion for you adventurous newlyweds. We are not... You need to cool off. Take this bottle. Come find me in Marie's, and I'll make your first blue brew free. If you want some incredible elixirs, you're in luck. With the right ingredients, I can even increase your health and magic. And yeah, I do think that was a Matrix reference. Was that a Matrix reference, devs? Because I really think it was. I travel all over. Look for me in any towns you might visit. I was on my way to Marie's before running into you, hot lovers. Toodles! Senile? Most assuredly. Oh, it's a League of Legends ad. Interesting. Cool. And now we're in what I'm assuming is the second main town of this game. Oh, welcome to Marie's, everybody. Oh, I can smell the sea. Hey, check out this town. It's built entirely on a pier. You've never been to Marie's? It's close to Ural. Well, no, I've never even been through Calico Forest. Marie's prospers off its fishing exports, and it's well known for the bounty hunters HQ. I managed to read about the HQ in one of Mala's books. Mala. If the gemstones are guarded by great beasts under Aklor's control, our goal is to find such beasts. Let's start passing around and see if any leads turn up. Come on, I'm dying to see what Marie's is like. And I do like the aesthetic here of the of Marie's. I like that it's built on a pier. It definitely reminds me of some of the towns in, I want to say, Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emeralds, because there was a lot of water in those games. Overall, really nice aesthetic. I remember where's the save area here. Up there it is. It's by everyone's favorite character, and she is one of my favorite characters in this game. Ah, it's the lovers again. Good to see you. I forgot to mention something earlier. Keep an eye out for potion recipes that might be lying around. Most are documented in books located on the ground. Find them, and I'll be able to make more kinds of potions for you. But enough talk. Why don't you take a gander at what I have to offer? So, what I do like is that I like that we can brew permanence potions, which actually permanently increase stuff. Now, there seem to be other permanence potions. I'm wondering if this is implying there will be other characters besides our two main protagonists here, or if it's implying that there's going to be other stats we can kind of buff later. And more to think of. I do think the most important thing is going to be increasing our HP, so... What are you waiting for? Drink it. Delicious, right? Alright, that'll do it. Hey, Tits, thank you so much for dropping by. Welcome. This is Shrine's Legacy. It's an indie game that's in development. This is a demo for Shrine's Legacy, and the devs are in the chat, so feel free to say hi or ask questions. It's Caliber B2 in the chat. Oh, also, devs, I know it's been a while, so if you guys want to post a link to the demo again, I'd understand, because we do have some new viewers here tonight. Yeah, so the demo is free. You can absolutely play it if any of you are interested. That's how I'm playing it right now. Hey, what can I do you for? We are searching for great and dangerous monsters. Is there a bounty for such a feat? Well, we've got smaller feats that need taken care of locally. Of course, there is one particular beast, but pardon me for saying, but you two probably aren't up for it. We're more than up for it. We have the skill of a magic user and my mastery of swordplay. And by that I mean, he and I have been waving a sword around for about less than a day. Oh, bother. A magic user and swordsman, huh? Well, in that case, it's... Oh. So you think you've got what it takes to hunt the mighty Brunus? Oh, I bet you can't even dodge an enemy attack like this. Oh yeah. No, I can do that. Oh. I'm the dodge button. Huh. Even so, your muscles aren't cold enough for such an enormous task. The Brunus is our bounty. Find your own hunt, scrawny runts. What is the Brunus, and who are you three? Ani, Cho, Ki. We're the Hiroshi brothers, manliest bounty men. Oh. Aha. I'm sorry I asked. The Brunus has been a menace to the local townsfolk. We intend to eradicate the monster and claim the reward. The lights of you don't have a prayer. Alright, now we need a choice. Which one is the funny one? We don't need one, we have you. It's you who needs to pray. Oh, I always enjoy a challenge. It's so macho. Whatever, just don't expect us to step down. Wouldn't dream of it. Don't get any ideas about traveling to Brunus Island just offshore of Belize. We've deduced that with a name like Brunus Island, the odds of the Brunus being there are, well, a lot. So we've called dibs. You don't say. Of course, we're pros at this after all. We're so professional. Gaze in awe upon our professional business suits, yeah. And so, we take our leave. Cha-ta! May the most macho hunters win! Did we agree to some race? Did we? Anyway, these manly hunters just gave us a possible lead. It would seem we need a boatman to reach Brunus Island. You mean to go through with it? The reward's 500 gold, but there ain't a man in town who's willing to tread those waters. You might try down by the docks. Won't hold your breath, though. It hurts. Enough. Yeah. Now, this is another room for improvement here. I don't, at least personally, I find it a bit weird to have the sprint key and the dodge key be the same things. Because I want to be able to sprint and then just dodge if I need to. Not, it feels kind of awkward to just have to double tap to dodge and kind of go like this. So, potential future idea would be to tie the dodge key to some other button, whether that's spacebar or something else like that. Hi, are you the owner of this boat? Sure am. You two look like you're on a serious mission. Name's Danny. What be yours? I'm Rio, and this is Rayma. A pleasure. What ails ye, Rio and Rayma? Room silent. We need a way to get to it, and someone brave enough to sail us out there. Our reason is to find and kill the monstrous Runas. Monstrous, you say? More like the demon of the land, I say. Oh, it is. Many a creature roams the island, but none more deadly than that which it is named after. You both are fools for wanting to trifle with such a devil. Maybe so, but that devil may have something we need. Can you get us to the island or not? Oh, I can do that. Mayhap I'm the only one who will, just it'd be awful to see more lives lost. So many have fallen prey to its deadly snare. Many loved ones. We did take care of ourselves. Just name your price, Mr. Danny. Just Danny will do. And all of it. All of what? All of that at reward for the bounty on the monster. That's me price. The whole reward? But it is a deal. Right. Good, there's nothing more I'd like to say than the Grun is finally slain. Yes, finally. Stanley, come back in the morning and we'll set sail. Thank you, Danny. Come on, Rio. Did you seriously just agree to give the whole reward to this guy? Think about how much Zool that is. We do not seek the Zool. We are looking for gemstones, remember? Besides, no other boatman will set out there. You have heard it yourself. There is no other choice. It's late. We should find shelter for the night. You're trying to keep the buttons mapped to this small. Is that just because there's a limited number of buttons on the controller? Yes, if that's not the case, I would just kind of be curious about that design decision. But that's just... Maybe I'm in the minority here. Or does... It's just my personal preference to have... to obviously have different buttons for different things whenever possible. But if more feedback from others who play this game find it to be okay, then whatever. I'm just voicing my opinion, that's all. I believe we go to the inn, which is over here. Fair enough, so for a gamepad. I understand that, fair enough. Although, for, like, the PC version, it would be cool to have, like, that option. Yes, but we'll be in separate rooms. My apologies. All the rooms are reserved but one. We will take it. What? We'll be sleeping in the same room. So, do you want to sleep outside? Do you want to turn in for the night? Yes. Very good. Follow me, please. Fair enough. I know about tapping without moving. It's just, I always like to be moving and dodging. That's just me, though. I'm so used to games like Crosscode, where it's like, you constantly have to be holding a direction and then dodging to really make it effective. What are you writing? A letter to Mala. I'm letting her know how things have been going. She went through a lot because of me. Rio, it wasn't. Try not to be too long. We need to wake up early. Yeah, I won't be much longer. Night. Good night. It's hard to believe he is the one who wields the sword, and as much as I hate it, I need him. But this is my only option. If there was another way, I would have taken it. Adrien, I promise to pull through. Where's Rio? Yep, and you guys are right. So when you dodge backwards, that of course does a back dodge, which is nice, but yeah, cool. That's from Mela? Oh, you're up. Yeah, it was a gift. Your friend. I can tell she really cares about you. Always cherish that, Rio. We need to meet Dendy. Go on ahead. I'll catch up after dropping off my letter to mail at the post office. Be quick. Meet us down by the pier. You've got it. See you soon. Oh my goodness, Rio stole the sword. That would be a plot twist. Perfect crime, stealing the sword from yourself. Okay. Hello, can I help you, sir? Hi, I want to deliver this letter to your old village. Gladly. Is this your first time using your service? Yes it is. I'm happy to tell you there's no charge for your first delivery, because otherwise you might not have enough rupees and then you'd be soft locked, and that would be a shame, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? It's our way of saying thanks for choosing post hats. I'll just take that and we'll mail it out for you. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's Cal. I know devs. I know. I understand the game dev reason behind that. I just think it's kind of funny. Oh wow, thanks. No problem. Also, I can't help but notice that there's a chat nearby that seems to want me to notice them for some reason. You've already messaged your letters. Hello, Sandy. Thank you so much for dropping by. Welcome to the indie game demo stream. The devs are in the chat, so feel free to ask them questions or to comment with them. They're it's Scalibur2 in the chat. And I did. Welcome. This is the demo for Shrine's Legacy. By the way, we'll be adding a shipment by air service in the near future. Not sure why that matters since we do this instantaneously, but oh well. Keep an eye out for when we install this new and efficient service. Will do. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of the day, sir. Okay, I actually didn't do this. Welcome to our postal service. We pride ourselves on delivering your parcels and letters to take the utmost quality and care. May I ask, did that sound like a good advertising slogan? Yay, I mean, your feedback is very much appreciated. Welcome to our postal service. We pride ourselves. I already heard it. Oh. Not like good advertising? I'll keep working on it. Huh. Really? That's interesting to have the APF. Oh dear. Yeah, I just chose the second option. Oh, one more time? Okay. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. Welcome to our postal service, where we're always thinking outside the letterbox. No, that's not very good either. I think that's worse than the first one. What's that, Copper Nicholson? Oh, the Zat Claw, the producers? I'm not sure. I haven't seen the producers. But yeah, nice funny moments with the post chat. Is your letter taken care of? All clear. Good. Then you should be nearly finished with the project. It's all ready to sail. Set sail. Are you ready? Let's sail. Hop aboard, lady and gent. Yep, perfect. Nice boat, Andy. Thank you, lad. It's not much, but it gets me from port to burr. Now, Rio, Rima, have you ever sailed before? I see. Today, while aboard these vessels, ye two shall be my first and second mate. Well, which one is... No. Everyone pulls their weight around here. Understood? Aye, aye. Yes. Alright, work. Rio. Captain? Man the sails, lad. Rima. Woman the deck, lass. Woman the deck? Come on, Rima, have a sense of humor. I always get a kick out of that one. Alas, your job is an important one, Rima. Keep an eye out for dangers in the water. Yeah, I'll say, the thought of traveling to the island seemed dreadful yesterday, but the sea always gets me spirits up. Sails ahead, lady and gent. Oh yeah, I remember that. I know that musical number, Copper Nicholson. That's a pretty famous one. So, Danny, the island got its name from the Brunus, right? Yes, sir. It didn't used to have a name, though, because that was a long time ago. Children began calling it that on account of a monster that dwells there. Small monster has been a threat for a long time, right? Why hasn't this been dealt with? If only it were that simple, Miss Rama. Beg pardon, but I don't believe ye understand what you're up against. It moves fast as lightning and is as deadly as though it were created by Atlor itself. This creature sounds exactly like the sort of thing we're after. I assume you have seen it for yourself, then? Me shipmate and I encountered it in years past, and experienced firsthand why people fear it. It was the same day I lost him to the damned monster. Me best friend. If it weren't for me cowardice and foolishness, he'd still be here. Darn the Brunus. I'm sorry. I lost my father some years ago, so I know that horrible feeling. It's like the pain never completely recedes. You say true, Rio. Haha, he used to carry around a fish in there for luck. Said it would always bring us a great catch. Wish I still had it. Ah, well, some things are meant to be a mere memory. Shore's ahead. We'll be on Ruins Island soon. What is all that gunk oozing out from the rocks? It looks to be some sort of geothermal material, which indicates underwater volcanic activity. Aye. It's said that this island was formed over thousands of years. Tis a spectacle few behold thanks to the Brunus. Anyway, I'll be waiting here for you. Come see me if you need to go back to Marie's for something. Good luck. Yep, I do like the aesthetic of this place. It is really neat to be on an island like this, especially with the volcanic activity. Perfect place for, obviously since we just got the fire element. Oh, forgot about this. Let's see. Burn. Burn. There we go. Oh, before we do that, I think there was something else I could do out here. Ah, yep. There we go. Chest. Might as well save while we're at it. Why is lava rainbow color? Good question, Copper Nicholson. I have some for stat purposes. And that, of course, right there, good game design teaching us how to use the torches to get past this area without actually telling us. It's showing us, not telling us. Now, before we can do this puzzle here, we actually need a certain key item. So, we'll go looking for that. Right here. Oh, right. I think we do have a new jewel then. Yep. That's also, you don't get health bars by default. That's actually a jewel you have to equip, and it's a very nice one. There we go. Also, I do like that, like, there's actually slightly different music for being underground versus overground, so you can kind of hear the differences here. I like there's more of, I think that's a xylophone in the background when you're underground, whereas out here you hear more of a horn. I think it's really cool. Just a nice attention to detail there. Boom. Now we have an orb. Ah, thanks for the compliment. No, I really love, like, good attention to detail in games like that. I generally notice it pretty quickly because I've played a lot of games, both on both like full-fledged games as well as Flash games when I was younger. Out of curiosity, Devs, did you guys ever play Flash games when you were younger, like on games like AddictingGames.com or Newgrounds or Nitro Me? Because that's where I got a lot of. I've certainly gotten in my feet wet in a bunch of different game mechanics from places like that. Only if you're an ocean. Good reply, Gabby. Good reply. I need Raymond. Okay. That's also introducing a new mechanic, which is nice. Just gonna run past these things. That's way out of here, I think. Yep. I see Copper Nicholson is making a reference to a particular... Yep, and now we get to see how the puzzle works. Nothing super complicated, but it is cool to see a puzzle like this. You hit it and it rotates things. And I think the puzzle's fairly straightforward. Which is fine. Boom. Oh, interesting. Cool, so you guys did play a few Flash games, but it was mostly old console games. Like, I guess Illusions of Gaia was one you brought up earlier, but are there any other, like, console games you really enjoyed playing when you all were younger? I know for me, at least, this isn't a Flash game, this is actually like an SRPG, but the, there's an old SRPG called Shining Force that was basically my childhood. And that game was just so much fun. It was, I guess it's kind of in the same vein as Fire Emblem, like that kind of an RPG where you're controlling different units on like a big map. But I really like the story of that game as well, and its overall message, and I thought that the battles were fun too. And the world building for Shining Force was top notch in my opinion. It was such a fantastic mix of both like fantasy, light, and darkness, as well as like science fiction, which just gave it such a unique feel. And I do kind of get the vibes from Aklor in that respect, because it does feel like Aklor is kind of like a robot almost, and that maybe he isn't necessarily a demon per se, as he is maybe some kind of ancient technology, but that's just a thought in my head. Get up, Raymond. The wall, is that another Pink Floyd song? That's all green ones. I think we just need to defeat these things. Oh, real level, nice. Perfect. I think we have to do a bit of a roundabout thing to get there. So that was part of the puzzle. Oh, the wall's a movie. Oh, it's both a song and a movie. Okay. Nice. But in terms of Flash games that really come to mind that really inspired me when I was younger, a lot of games by the creators of Nitro Me, or Nitro.com actually, were they had such a fun time messing around with game mechanics, and they always put out such high quality Flash games. I remember Final Fantasy VI, Links to the Past. Cool. I know for me it was Shining Force. I've already been here, haven't I? Yep. It was Shining Force. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles was another big one. That was basically my favorite platformer as a kid. It's also where I really started to like, it's funny you say that because as someone who's played both, I actually like the original better. And the reason I say that is I recognize as a game developer that Shining Force 2 is superior in terms of its actual battle mechanics. It definitely has a much better battle mechanic system in terms of leveling up and game promoted and such. However, Shining Force 2's story, in my opinion, is inferior to Shining Force 1's. Because honestly, Shining Force 2's story feels more like, fun, silly magic and monster stuff, and not really too much in the way of serious plot moments. More so like moving from one fun battle to the next. Whereas in Shining Force 1, it feels like one large, big, grand, coherent story that's... honestly, that's pretty dark at certain points. Oh, Ocarina of Time, interesting. What game blew my mind in terms of the size? Well... let me think about that. I think... and that's the thing, because Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Shining Force are the first games that come to my mind, of course. I need to look at the map. But, change floor? Okay, so I have been up there. Where have I not been? Oh, I see. I think it's... I can't go that way, though. Some of the Assassin's Creed games I also really liked. Those kind of blew my mind. Like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, just the size and scale of that game. But I guess even more so than that game was Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. That to me was the best Assassin's Creed game. Just the idea of being able to explore, like, you know, to pilot a boat around the entire Caribbean Ocean. And then be able to just let go of that, the handle of that wheel, and just go explore. That was just so cool in terms of exploration mechanics. And more recently, a game that really hit home with me is a game called Crosscode. It's an action RPG that has a phenomenal story, and it's also an indie game. Oh, is this another orb? Ah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it has a phenomenal story, amazing boss battles, lots of fast-paced stuff, and great characters. Just all in all, everything I could have asked for an action RPG. Well, almost everything at least comes from Crosscode. I will say though, another game that kind of blew my mind, even though it might not seem as impressive now, was the very first Caribbean as in Caribbean, the sea. Think like the Gulf of Mexico, or around Cuba, and Mid-Atlantic, things like that. Oh, cool. Kingdom Hearts 1 is still our favorite game to this day. But as I was saying, the first season of the Walking Dead video game I thought was impressive just because of the idea behind it, the whole choose-your-own-adventure storyline kind of thing. Like, I remember I played that back in middle school. Myself and a friend at the time, we were just always excited for the next episode of that game and trying to see how our like moral decisions compared. It was really cool. But in terms of favorite games, I go back and forth between Shining Force and Crosscode, honestly. Oh, also, First Dark Souls is an excellent game. Phenomenal level design, really fun bosses, would highly recommend it, and that's another game I also really enjoy. Oh yeah, Walking Dead Season 1 on game was really We're talking about the video games, not the TV show, by the way. I haven't really seen the TV show in great depth. I've only played the video games. Yeah. Even though I recognize that The Walking Dead Season 1 doesn't have nearly as... I think the issue with the Telltale formula is they never really got to the point where the decisions mattered enough. What I mean by that is Walking Dead Season 1 introduced the concept, but there weren't really too many decisions that had like a significant impact on gameplay. But it was okay at the time because it was still a very kind of new take on things. And we would figure that, okay, maybe in the future they'll expand on this. They didn't do it that much, and that to me is just like the biggest shortcoming of Telltale games. Whereas games like Life is Strange, on the other hand, do a pretty good job of making those decisions matter. Although I think it was actually Detroit Become Human that was kind of like I think at least so far, did it best in terms of actually making decisions matter. Alright, night, Davy APF, thank you so much for dropping by. Have a great night. But what Detroit Become Human did right, in my opinion, is that there's actually like different flow charts and entirely different scenes and gameplay sections depending on your decisions. And that's what I want to see in like a decision-based game, is not just some fluff test while still following largely the same story. I want to have legitimately different endings with legitimately different gameplay sequences that you can only get by doing certain decisions. To me, that's what I expect out of like a branching path kind of game. And I do think it's, a lot of games don't take the ability to have choice, like differences in storylines depending on decisions. They really don't seize on the opportunity nearly enough, in my opinion. More often than not, what I see games do is they tell a fairly linear story, which is fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, games are fundamentally about choice. As a medium, games are about choice. Even games that are linear, the ones that are good are about choice. Even if it's not like about the story being different, but more so like how you approach different areas. For example, in Mario, you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's a pretty linear game, where's the choice? Well, the choice comes in how do you platform? Do you go after a certain enemy first, or do you have to jump over a gap first? How do you balance it out? Those are decisions you're making. Video games are fundamentally they're the medium of playing with choice. That's a fair point, Sandy, and I agree. The reason why I enjoy playing the Telltale games is that it makes you feel like your decisions actually matter. There's definitely a lot of tension in the moment when you have to make that choice. Well, and there are different ways to present choose-your-own adventure stories for two. It doesn't have to be like in the Telltale sort of focused entirely on the narrative aspect of it. But what I'm saying is I think a lot of game genres could benefit from giving more choices in and legitimately different outcomes in the story instead of just a different ending. I mean like legitimately different gameplay sections. Yep, you do have to kind of find a balance. So, and that is the tricky part about it. Is that you do have to really be careful and balance the, Yeah, exactly. So RPGs should give you some choice. And once you have that choice, it's, I know I'm missing something here. Where have I not been? Okay, I think it's that room over there. How do I get there? Yeah, games like RPG should give you some choice. And I understand that giving that level of choice is a lot more work on the developer's end. I mean, it has to be, because you're basically making multiple games in one because you have different paths. But I do think it significantly increases the quality of the game, and is worth the investment. How do I get over there? Oh, I see. So I have to come from the other side. There we go. But yeah. So, one of the things I know I haven't actually made any posts on Twitter about it, but the game I'm working on right now focuses very heavily on having, like, significantly different narrative, like, different stories depending on your decisions as a player throughout the game. And I want to make that a core part of the game itself. But of course, because of that, it means I actually basically have to write a bunch of different storylines and find coherent ways to intertwine them together and make them all seem, like, not make it seem like they're coming out of nowhere or aren't well fleshed out. So it's essentially like, instead of writing one story, you have to write a bunch of different stories and have them all fit together, but branch from the same starting point. So it's fascinating. It really is fascinating to work on a game like that, but it also requires a lot more work. Fair enough, Albert Nicholson. Yeah, for sure. But obviously nowhere near at any sort of testing point right now, because I still have to... I'm still working on building the fundamentals of the engine and such, as well as, again, writing, because when you have a non-linear game, or a game with a branching storyline like I'm trying to create, you have to do a lot more writing. So, still have a lot to write. But it's definitely been a fun process so far. Kind of visualizing a game as like a big, basically a big internet and web of decisions, as opposed to a straight line with a bunch of nodes. Okay, so somewhere around here there's something. Oh, right. This is where it introduces the idea that you might have to... Right. Basically put out the lights too. There we go. I do like that it does that. Yeah. Let's just go this way. Very big area. Yep. I know we're going past 9, but I do want to actually finish the game. There's only a bit more to this. That's a fair point, it's Albert. And that's the thing, like, I recognize that when games become very open, it's extremely easy to sacrifice story, which is why I'm putting this at least in the way I'm developing it, I'm putting story out as, like, the main focus and driving point of it, even though I am kind of building it more like an action RPG. It is important. The story is really important to me. So I'm really trying to take my time and flesh out every single area to be its own, basically, part of a much grander scale. It's a massive undertaking of world building, essentially. So, taking it slow, but trying to really make sure that the story is not sacrificed for the sake of giving those options. Raymond, get up. Okay. And let's stop that. And bada bing, bada boom. That did something. Oh yeah, the later Star Wars games have basically the local 2-player co-op thing down pretty well. Oh, right, this is where that is. 1 second. Before we do that, I think there's a puzzle over here. Yep. Alright, now this might look complicated, just kind of looking at all these different angles here, but really what you want to do is start from the end and kind of work your way backwards. And when you do it, it's pretty easy to find the path. Then you just kind of walk around like that. So with these things, there's usually only one correct path. As we will see right here. Oh, interesting. I didn't know those specific RPGs actually did have a 2-player feature. That's really cool, Devs. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, I do appreciate when it makes sense to you to have basically 2-player functionality. It doesn't always make sense, but when it does, it's cool to see. There, but these things do the thing. Ow. Nah, I won't want to show my full health for this, so. Let's just deal with these things. For sure. Oh no. I think that's a reference to something, isn't it, devs? Alright. So now we're approaching the Fang. And let's have at it. Nothing here. It's trying not to be helped. I think it is best we head back. The hell? Found it. Grunus is too fast. We cannot land any attacks. Oh, it's from Castlevania. Yeah, bugger. That ought to slow it down for you. Now the fight actually ends. So. Ow. Out of here. Well, I will admit, that's actually the first time I've ever died to the Grunus, and that's more so for my carelessness for not dodging. Oh, interesting. I'm not facing the right direction. Alright, we have to wait for the thing to happen. Okay. Yeah, but this right here is kind of like one of the issues I have with this boss, is that in general, if you just kind of dodge that attack and just spam an attack in one direction, it usually doesn't end up getting you too much. Now right here I am getting annihilated, but that's kind of how I beat this thing my first time, was just kind of standing in one place and going for it. Now this time, of course, I again got wrecked, but it's is what it is. Let's try Frost. That's a fair point. I'm a lower level this time, so my damage output isn't as high, so that could be it as well. As before, I just kind of slammed right through this thing. But now I'm a bit of a lower level, so I actually have to think a bit more. There you go. Let's try this again. person. So if you're like above this thing, yeah. Devs, you see a problem here? Let me show you something. Notice something? So that's what it was last time. So what happened was I was above this thing, and because of the way it moves, it is just so easy to do this. This is why I thought the boss was so easy. So I'm not sure what you can do for like more upward-based attacks, but this right here does not seem hard at all. Like it doesn't involve very much thinking. It's literally just holding the attack button and being above it, and that's it, you win. See? So, just... I mean, he does jump away periodically, but as long as you know just to stay above him, it just doesn't require a whole lot of thought. And the reason why I think that's kind of important to at least address is because even when I was fighting the what's it called? The lead minion, that thing could still do like a pretty similar spear attack in the upward direction. So it didn't feel like no matter which direction I faced the boss, it was still pretty easy to. I mean, not easy. It would still seem like an equally legitimate threat from any direction. Whereas with this, if you're above it, it just seemed much easier than if you're below it. That might be part of the boss's design, but that's just my 2 cents about it. That should be enough to prove that we killed it. This is me shipmate, friend. I can't believe his fishing lure is still here after all these years. You both were amazing. The Grunus is at last end, and won't trouble anyone anymore. And you helped recover her something most precious to me. Thanks. This means more than I can express. We could not have done it without you. Thank you for your help. How did you know where to find us? I've told you I encountered the creature before. The speed it moved at cost me my friend's life. I couldn't make that mistake twice. Meet me back at the boat. I'll return here and bury him proper once I've brought you to Marie's. F indeed. Poor friend. The Grunus was not guarding a gemstone. Are we missing something? I doubt it. We've been all over the island. This is disappointing, but at least we were able to help Dingy. Let's leave. I do have an idea for that. So maybe if you like attack the Grunus too many times in a row, like from above, maybe it will like, instead of jumping like to the left or the right, it will actually like pounce and try to land right on top of you for like some kind of like downward attack. If it did something like that, that would definitely force the player more towards more downward, which would make the fight a bit harder and much less, we'll say, cheesable by just being above it and spamming the attack button. Search the body? Good question. I don't think there'd be anything left. Rest in peace. Yeah, he took the fishing lure, so there's nothing else. Alrighty. Alright, we're nearing the end of the demo, guys. So, for all those who are still here, thank you so much for watching. Still got a bit more left, but it should be fun. What? What is that? Wielder of the Sword of Shrine, you seek power that would bring Atlor's demise. On that notion, I cannot permit you to leave. Answer, Demon of the Isle, how are you associated with Atlor? I was forged by Atlor, created solely for one purpose. On my domain, you will find your life's end. Now my master comes forth. You! How?
An island's people fear to tread upon. It was a promising milieu for harboring one of the gemstones.
Why are you here under the guise of an illusion?
To ensure your lives are ceased while the opportunity presents itself.
And yep, exactly, Dev. So the Brunus was meant to be a warm-up.
This world will recognize the Shrine Legacy's failure, and any hope to oppose me will be extinguished.
What makes you so confident I'll fail? I'll find your guardians and take back each gem, and you won't. Real, stay calm. This is not a time to give way to anger. Ah! Reba!
You always know all about anger after the loss of your sibling, Nerone.
Who the hell do you think you are?
That woman you journey with is a more prominent threat to me, yet she could not even protect her own sibling.
You
are nothing, Shrine. An ineffectual being such as you is of no consequence. The Sword of Shrine is my true adversary, not you. Your failures protect your allies, proof of that. Incapable of harnessing the sword as a means to stand against me, your failure is imminent. Of that I am certain.
We'll try breaking out of this barrier. Stand back. Okay, so in terms of difficulty, I think this boss is scaled pretty perfectly. It's a really good challenge. However, as I did mention to the devs, I've sent some messages before, I think that this boss could have been foreshadowed just a little bit better, because it does just seem to come out of nowhere. And while it is a nice surprise, I do think that if there was some more narrative build-up to this thing, like earlier, like in that one floor scene, for example, even like put a silhouette over it so you can't see what it looks like, that would be better than just kind of like, hey, here's a masked boss, have fun. I mean, what do you guys in chat think? Yeah, what makes this boss tricky is just the way, you have to position yourself. Well, I think the light contraptions are just fine as a hint to this boss's mechanic because they teach you about how the orbs work. That's fine. I'm just thinking more about the boss itself, because at least with the slime boss, even though we didn't get to see the slime boss itself in advance, we at least saw the slime enemies. Whereas with this, we never really saw, like, a mask enemy. All we saw were, like, those little diamonds, which don't look anything like this thing. And even with the Garunus, those alligator-like enemies at least looked like it. Which is kind of why I was thinking that if there was even a little bit more hints of this mask, that would be just appreciated from a storytelling standpoint. I think just mechanically, it's a perfectly fine boss. I personally find this boss to be really challenging, honestly, just because it's really hard to position yourself against the orbs properly. Let's see if we can't revive Rayma. Oh dear. I'm gonna try and revive Rayma, but it's gonna be tricky because she's kind of in the middle right now. Nope, fair enough. I'm not sure I can get Rayma if she's there. I might have to push her towards the middle. I do like that we can actually push Rayma a little bit. Oh dear. Oh, well, I'll have to try that again, but... okay, fair enough. And I can see that. It definitely did feel like the Ruinous was a warm-up. Do I have any red med potions? No, I do not. I just have the potions for increasing Matt's health. But I think the strat with this thing is just going to be to try and wear down its, Also, I do appreciate that the boss, that you kind of fast forward through that cutscene there so we don't have to watch it again. Very much appreciated. So I'm going to tell you this a bit more safe, which is to spam fire and just kind of attack this thing from down here. And just run away with the orbs go. This is a boss that requires a lot more patience than anything else. It's not something you can just spam through. Also, that dodging that the, what were those guys called? Well, that dodge ability definitely really helps here, especially for dodging those orbs. Ah, very true. I'm just getting annihilated, but that tends to happen. Oh, that's true. I could switch between them. But now I can rescue her. I might want to switch between just for... We'll slowly whittle this thing down. Yeah, I think Rain might actually do more damage with magic now I'm thinking. Ah, that's a good one. Oh, here. Nope, 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 nope. Just one up. Good bit. Also, speaking of bosses, if you were to, devs, if you were to do this boss, oh wait, no, this boss already has a name. I'm trying to remember what it was though. It was like the Light Mask or something. Yeah, having that as like the boss's name as opposed to just boss in the health bar would be nice. Yo, that's Gemstone. Take it. This gem is white, like the lights the Guardian created. Does that mean... Yes, this is a light, a healing element. Let me harness the elements from the light gem. Did it work? I will find out. Oh, so when we attack while this spell's cast, we will be healed. Oh, cool! So it's a healing spell. I actually kind of glanced over that my first playthrough. That would be really helpful for a more long term in the game. That will be very useful. Come on. Dust is fading, and Daniel will be waiting by the shore. Hey, Rayma? Yes? Back there, before we fought the Guardian. I'm sorry that I couldn't help you break free. Let us consider ourselves lucky his illusion was not as powerful as his real self. What Atlor said about me being incapable of harnessing the sword. Do you think he's right? I like that we get to choose what Rayma says here. You believe what he said, Rayma? Because if you believe in that monster's words, you will fail. Now let's get moving before it gets dark. Okay. You made it! I was worried something happened. Sorry, we were unexpectedly delayed. Well, at least you're alright. Hey, I just wonder. Let's leave this place. It's been a hell of a long day. Oh, that's a fair point, Connor Nicholson. Although, speaking of hilarious things... Those three. You gotta wonder if they're even brothers. Or likely just maniacs who met at a flexing convention. What I liked about that is it implies that the three of them couldn't find anyone to take them to the island either, and they just swam there, and that's why it took so long. And that's why they were never there, because they were just trying to swim to the island. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That was the demo for Shrines Legacy. Thank you, Joseph Duke and Alan Gabbard, so much for making this demo and working on this. It was a lot of fun to play. And it was also really cool to get to play this demo and get to experience it with you guys in the chat here. It was great to kind of hear kind of your thought process for some of the dungeons and such, as well as the bosses. And definitely looking forward to hear more about this game. Now, since I know you guys, the devs, want some feedback, everyone in chat, let's give the devs some feedback. So, if in chat, if you could give one thing you thought, one positive thing you thought about this game, as well as one area that could be improved, I think that would be helpful. What do you think, devs? Definitely a fun demo, and certainly looking forward to see what more the game has to offer. Oh, cool, yeah. If I need any feedback on my own project down the line, that'll help also. Happy to hear evidence. Yeah, sure. Yeah, if I need any feedback on my project further down the line, I'll certainly be sure to reach out to you guys. And again, thank you so much. It really was an honor to get to be able to play this. Not just it was an honor to get to play this, but it was even more of an honor to actually have you guys here to chat about your game. I think that's just so cool, honestly. Getting to see, like, a little bit behind the scenes, so to speak. I'm sure in the full game proper, there's going to be more elements to mess around with. That's the point of the 8 gems, I imagine. So, I've already... Awesome. Glad you guys enjoyed being here. If you ever want to drop by sometime, or just want to drop by a stream further down the line, feel free to dip my channel and follow. It's free, and you can always change your mind later, and it's a great way to notify you when I go live on Twitch if that interests you. What? The demo is already over. This is unacceptable. Hiroshi Brothers' legacy was just getting started, yeah. We need more. Yeah, where's the rest of my game, cheapskates? Give the developers a break. It takes a lot of time to make this kind of stuff. In fact, they could use our support. I don't want to live in a world without the Hiroshi Brothers. Looks like I've got some Zilla sauces to brew. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that was the Shrines Legacy demo. All in all, I think a really excellent taste of the game to come. Definitely got me excited for it. There's a lot of cool mechanics here, a lot of great potential, especially with like the gem system and being able to switch out different abilities. Really looking forward to see what's done with that and what crazy myths of stats we can mess around with, because that's always fun. Actually want to do a kit star. Oh, cool. Yeah, kit stars can definitely help with a development project like this. Yeah, no problem. It was a pleasure to play, and thank you so much. I really wish you guys the best of luck with the rest of your development. I think this game has a bright future. It's just a question of obviously sticking with it, because there's clearly a lot more to the game. And I can certainly relate to that feeling, because games take a lot of work. And the reason that is because games are a mix of multiple different genres. You have to compose music tracks, you have to make a lot of artwork, you've got to program, you have to write a story, and you have to compile that all together into one cohesive package. That's why games take so long. Especially if they're done well. But yeah, again, thank you all so much for dropping by. I really appreciate it. Do you think we should do a raid tonight, chat? Or do you think maybe we should just kind of end it off here? Because we usually do raids on this channel. But okay, raid it is then. In that case, if you're watching on YouTube, again, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to subscribe on YouTube. It's free, and you can always change your mind later. All right. Good night, devs. Thank you so much for dropping by. And yeah, if you are watching on YouTube and enjoy this content, please consider subscribing on YouTube. As always, if you're on YouTube, I hope you have a good night.